Welcome everyone back to my video, Hoot and Poop. So last week, I hope you guys enjoyed what I've gone through on iFast. And this week, I decided to do a little bit more different. So basically, I will be sharing with you some of the concept on investing and not necessarily focusing on company only. Okay, because I always believe in giving everybody, my viewers, a holistic understanding of stock investing or rather investing in general, as well as some company analysis that I'm doing. Okay, so this week I term it as the week of learning series. So in the part one of learning series, I will be talking to you about stocks. Okay, so I believe you guys have already kind of have some concept on what stock market is all about. So I will be showing you guys the emotional part of it. Okay, now, first, in terms of definition, a stock is a security that represents the ownership of a fraction of a corporation. So putting in simpler terms, it means to say that as long as you purchase the stock from the stock market exchange, you basically own a part of the business, as you can see from my image itself, right? You can see that when you purchase, a company that sells clothing, you basically owns a part of the business. That's about it. Okay. Now, I want you guys to understand the emotion as well as the concept, the thinking behind when you own a stock. All right. Basically, I want you guys to think of yourself as a business owner instead of just purely buying and selling the stocks. Okay, so these are the few questions that you always, or rather that I always ask myself when I purchased any stocks from the exchange. Number one, do I like the business? So basically, I must fall in love with the business. I must know what the business is doing, and I must be convinced that this business is something that resonates positively with me. Okay, so definitely you must have understanding on what you are buying. You don't buy just because of hype. Okay, I understand greed and understand hype and I understand FOMO. However, if you want to be in the stock market long enough, you need to know what you buy. And in order to know what you buy, you need to like the business. Okay, number two, are the financials growing? Okay, you don't buy into a company where the financials is crap. You must buy into a company where they show signs that their financials are growing. Now, the thing is that they may not necessarily be a profitable business yet. However, the revenue that they are getting must be growing. If not, it doesn't make sense to buy at all. The third point that I look at is that do they have the right management? All right, because who leads the company? It's not you, it's not me, it's not the people who buy the stocks. However, it is the management, the board of directors, the CEO, the CFO. All these people are the one that drive the business. So you have to ask yourself and you have to understand whether are these management suitable to run the business. If not, then this business is actually crap. You're just going to go haywire and you're just going to lose all your invested money into this business if it's being led by crap management. All right. The fourth question is that how impactful is this business to the society? All right. So are they positively impacting the society, or they are just destroying the society with detrimental products? So these are questions you have to ask yourself. So one example for being impactful to me is, I know everybody said that, and I know the whole world has been talking about it. Number one is Tesla. So Tesla is, in my opinion, is positively impacting the society by introducing full self-driving, okay? Because they aim to make driving safer for everybody. Another company which is less well known is called ClearPoint Neuro. So they are in a neuromedical kind of industry. So how are they positively impacting the society? They are allowing surgeons, brain surgeons, right, to carry out MRI and the operations to the brain concurrently. Okay, so this helps the surgeons in terms of reducing the number of hours spent on surgery, if you factor in the number of hours you need for MRI, as well as you help the patients to undergo less pain. Okay, and of course, the last point, it's all on valuations. Whether or not the price that you are paying now, is it expensive? Is it cheap? Is it fair value? Okay, so all these are the questions that I ask myself, and I want you to ask yourself whenever you buy a stock. If you cannot even go through these 5 questions, then the question that I want to ask you is that, do you really know what you are doing when you buy a stock from the exchange? All right. Now, I want to show you these 2 examples. Is that, every single time, whenever the share price goes up, I will see a lot of people, they are very happy and so on. When the share price goes down, then there will be lots of people with sad faces here, right? Does this resonate with you? Okay, the truth is you're wrong and I'm wrong, okay? Whenever the share price goes up or the share price comes down, there's only one reaction that I get from the ground, is that they are just very sad. There's so many 1,001 things that they can complain about, be it whether the movement of the share prices. So when it goes up, what are the things that people say and people complain? They say, "Ayah, I should have bought more. Ayah, I didn't buy enough. Ayah, it's too expensive. Ayah, it go up so much, I cannot buy anymore," and so on. "Ayah, my position so little. I don't want. I should not be buying more to increase my average price, etc., etc." And when the share price goes down, what do I have? What do I hear? "Oh no, my share price is dropping. It's going to burst. It's going to burst. Oh no. Oh man, the drop is infinite. I don't know when it will stop, etc., etc., etc." Right? Now, these 2 common emotions are basically what I have been receiving regardless of how the share price reacts. Okay, so it is really, really, really very irritating. Now, I just want to share with you guys this thing, is that you must understand that Mr. Market, all right, is actually a very emotional animal. Okay, on some days he may be happy, he will push up the share prices, and on some days he's having his emotional day, emotional outbreak, and the share price will just plunge. Number 1, you cannot control the emotions from Mr. Market. You wouldn't know whether Mr. Market is happy today or happy tomorrow, or sad today or sad tomorrow. You wouldn't know. You are not able to control. So if you cannot control all this, why are you letting it affect you? And if it affects you, then you have to ask yourself this question: are you investing or are you gambling? Because if you are investing, you would have already done all your homeworks that I've talked about. Research on the company, understand the financials, know what you're paying, etc. And if the share price drops, so be it. If the share price goes up, and if it's not too expensive, so be it. You don't control what you cannot control. Now, if you're on the other, if you're at the extreme, when you buy or sell any shares, you're gambling, then the question is that, would you be better off gambling in the casino, or would you be better off in the stock market? Personally, I feel you would probably do better in the casino than in the stock market, because you cannot handle the emotions at all. So don't be a victim of Mr. Market's emotions. Now, next time when Mr. Market comes knocking at your door, okay, with whatever share prices, okay, I just want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, okay, if the share price goes up 100%, or if the share price goes down by 100%, okay, do you think the business is still functioning normally? So let me give you an example. Let's talk about McDonald's. If today McDonald's share price plunged 100%, do you think you can still buy your burger? Do you think your burger will cut to a small little tiny bits of it? No, your burger will still be the same burger. Your fries will still be the same fries. It doesn't mean that McDonald's share price dropped 100%, your fries will drop by just one piece of it. Okay, it doesn't mean the share price dropped 100%. McDonald's customers will cut by 100%. No, your business is still functioning regardless of the share price. Okay, so always ask yourself these questions, regardless of whatever FOMO or whatever emotion, sadness, emotions that you have. ask yourself, is the business still functioning regardless of the share price? Okay. The second question you have to ask yourself is that, do you think the offered price is attractive? This is actually applicable when the share price plunge. When they plunge down, you have to ask yourself, whether this price offered to you is attractive. If it is, buy more. If it's not, then don't, just move on. Or if the share price goes up, you should also ask yourself, is this increase in share price still cheap, relatively cheap to the valuation? If it is, buy more. If it's not, then so be it. The third question you have to ask yourself is that, whatever price it is at this moment, do you believe that the current price will go up further? Now, whether it goes up further or not, it has to voice down to your homework, how much you understand the company, how much you understand the business. So if it does, if you think that it will still go up further, good. You know your valuations well, you know your business well. If it doesn't go up further and you believe it doesn't go up further, then what are you waiting for, right? So these are the few fundamental questions that I want to give you guys to think about it. Over the next few period, I will talk more and we can see how it goes. Okay, so I've come to the end of the first part of my learning series. Okay, so please like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comment if on any other things that you want to know about.